Welcome to the Go Potty podcast. I'm Rebecca Mottram, a children's nurse with a special interest in potty training. This podcast presents a new way of potty training, one that is backed by science and child development. So get ready to be surprised at what you'll learn, and get ready for some fun too, because children learn best through play. Each episode will explore a key aspect of potty training, with practical tips and expert advice all proven to work. So whether you're just starting out or you've already started, I'm really glad you're here. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Go Potty podcast. I'm Rebecca Mottram, and today I'm going to talk about how to manage potty training accidents. Accidents are bound to happen, but how we handle them can have a really big impact on our child's learning experience. So in this episode, I'm going to give you a practical strategy to navigate accidents with confidence. First of all, I'd like to share with you what I call the shopping analogy. So I want you to imagine that you're out shopping and you suddenly wee yourself or you poo in your pants. Apart from being mortified and hoping the ground would swallow you up, you would immediately want to go to the nearest place where you could get clean and dry in private. You certainly wouldn't think, I just need to get a few more items, so I'll go and sort myself out after I've got through the checkout. And that's because we know as adults that we're expected to be socially acceptable, which means not ignoring this kind of thing if it were to happen. And we also know that we need to go and sort this kind of thing out in private, so it's not like you'd strip off in the frozen food aisle and start doing it there. And so these are the ways we need to think about potty training accidents as well. So when your child has wet or soiled themselves or done their wee or poo in the wrong place, and just to be clear, I mean that they've done it not in the nappy, the potty, the toilet, or the other designated space, or whatever it is that you've agreed with them, then the first priority must be to get clean and clean up any mess that's gone in the wrong place. And this really needs to happen in the bathroom or the changing space, so that you're giving the consistent message that this is where these things need to happen. So resolving the accident in a practical way needs to be the first thing to do. And this may actually be quite a challenge to your child, because they were probably playing, or maybe they were procrastinating, or they were ignoring their prompts the body was giving them, or the prompts that you were giving them before the accident happened. So they may be quite resistant to stopping whatever they were doing and going to the bathroom with you. And if this happens, you can kind of empathise with your child, because after all, playing and doing things their own way is a major developmental driver of the early years. So what we're asking them to do doesn't really align with that, and you can expect some resistance at times. So if you get resistance, just be patient, but also firm that this is now the next priority and they do have to get changed. And so the message you're giving here is that accidents cannot be ignored. And at the same time, you're helping them to start seeing that accidents are less convenient than doing the right thing in the first place. And this is important because if we just make the accident go away with no inconvenience to your child, then there's very little impetus on them to avoid it happening again. The next thing to mention is about how you respond in terms of what you say and how you say it. And in relation to accidents, parents tend to go one of two ways. Either they'll say something like, "It's okay, it doesn't matter, never mind." Or they'll say something like, "Why did this happen? We just went to the bathroom and you just told me you didn't need to go." And usually with the second way, there'll be some disappointment, frustration, or anger expressed with it. And of course, this is normal. We're only human after all. And if you're also British, you'll understand that we have a very conservative attitude towards poo. And we also have carpets. So wee and poo in the wrong place is going to get your back up. But here's the thing. Any emotional response that you have, that you show to your child, is going to be unhelpful to their learning experience. So likewise, telling them it doesn't matter or never mind also doesn't help, because that's just not true. It does matter and we do mind. So what should we do instead? Okay. I think it's really important to respond to accidents neutrally and focus on the practicalities of cleaning it up as soon as you notice it's happened, or if your child comes and tells you. And of course, you'll feel the need to say something. So I recommend keeping up a patter of practical tasks such as, okay, I see we have wet pants. Or I see we have a poo that needs to go to poo land. And so let's go to the bathroom and clean that up. And then encourage them with things like, yep, that's right, the bathroom is this way, and so on. Or I bet you couldn't get to the bathroom before I count to 10. That kind of thing will really help engage your child with changing their focus from what they were doing to what now needs to happen. So be playful. And when you get to the bathroom, encourage your child to help themselves clean up as well, by taking off any wet or soiled clothes, transferring any poo to the toilet and flushing it away, and using wipes to clean up. And so in this way, the accident also becomes an opportunity to learn self-care and hygiene skills. Of course, some children won't want to help, or they won't be able to do much for themselves to help. But this doesn't mean that you should just get it all done as fast as possible. You can slow it down a little to help your child understand that accidents are less convenient than getting things right in the first place. And so you might want to add in a little prompt as well to get the expectation correct going forward. So for example, let's keep these pants clean and dry, or let me know if you get a call from Mr. Pooh again so that we can get him in the potty. And this brings me to another key point in relation to how to make the most of accidents, which is that they also represent a really important opportunity for praise. For example, if your child comes and tells you that they've wet or soiled their pants, you can say something like, "Thank you for coming to let me know that we need to change your pants. That was really grown up of you." Or if your child does cooperate and is helpful in cleaning up the accident, you can say, "Thanks for helping me out. I'm really proud of the way you handled that," or something like that. And this kind of praise is really important around accidents because it builds cooperation, and that's what you need most of in order to avoid more accidents from happening. The more consistent you can be around managing accidents in terms of also helping everyone else who looks after your child to manage them in the same kind of way, the faster your child will learn what they need to do to prevent further accidents. A detailed strategy for accidents is included in the companion guide, and I hope this episode has given you a good strategy to help reduce and overcome potty training accidents. And that's all for this episode of the Go Potty podcast. I hope you found it helpful. Remember, you can do this. You know your child better than anyone, so trust in your instincts. Be patient with yourself and your little one, and most importantly, keep it fun and playful. And don't forget to get your copy of our podcast companion guide, so you have all the strategies, games and activities when you need them. It's available via the link in the episode notes or on my website, littlebunnybear.com. Thank you for listening. Until next time, happy potty training.